this is Kim with Mom's Creative Moments. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to use a layout that I put together previously and add photos to it. And I will explain how the layout was created and where it came from. These are the photos of our continuing adventures at the Polynesian Cultural Center in Laie, Hawaii, on the island of Oahu. And this is our the start of our adventures in the area that is designated for Hawaii. So yeah, just some fun things that we did there. I'll tell you more about it when we get to the layout. So let's check out my check out my workspace, and we'll get started. Okay. All right, so this is the right-hand side of the previous layout that we just did the other day. And today we're going to go ahead and do photos from the first area of the Polynesian Cultural Center that we went to on this second day. And I'm going to use a two-page layout that I did last summer. I think it was last summer. I'm actually kind of forgetting exactly when I did this, but yes, actually it would have to be last summer because this is using Serene Waters, so that would make sense. Sorry. Sometimes I have to work through things in my brain. Thank you for your patience. So this is a layout that was not my initial design. I got this idea from watching a video that Noreen Smith did back when she did not work full-time for our home office, when she was an independent advisor just like I am. And so I learned or watched her do this, and then I put together my own. So I can walk you through how to do this layout very quickly. You're going to need your decorative trimmer. It looks like this. If you have this trimmer, you'll notice the two different waves. This one uses the wave on the top that has more, it's busier than the lower one, which I call the lazy wave because it's just kind of a little more flowy than the top one. The top one's more like rough seas. And so you use that, and you use the Serene Waters paper, and you just trim off a very tiny little edge of it. When you make your initial wavy cut, you just trim off just 1/4 of an inch or so, and then that goes at the top. And then you use you cut another piece just like it from the other side of the paper, and that goes on the bottom. That's this piece right here. Then you use our friendly fish punch, which you'll notice is actually on special at the moment until tomorrow after, oh, I beg your pardon, by the time this airs, that sale will be over. So I apologize. But you may still be able to find the friendly fish punch in our on our website. And it does make a very cute border punch. So this is just one strip of the friendly fish that's cut in the same direction as your arches down here, as your waves. And then you use your decorative trimmer to create this hourglass shape to go underneath the fish using the net paper. Okay, so that's basically how that is. And then I just did 2 of them, and I made them so that my fish kind of face each other with the colors, so that the colors flow together with this paper that is so beautifully done. So that's how I got my two pages that I'm using for this layout. And I apologize for not running through that with you, but because it was not my design and I already had the pages made, I was thinking of just putting this together without showing you any of the rest, but then I thought, no, I can actually talk you through how it comes together if I assemble it with you. So that's what I decided to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and use some cardstock to go ahead and mat a couple of our photos. just like I've done before. Each time we've gone into a different area at the PCC, I have matted the main photo for that area that talks about the culture on that island, and double matted actually. So I'm going to go ahead and do that this time as well. I'm going to use a piece of goldenrod, or the newer yellow that just came out is similar. Let me see if I can tell you what that's called so you can see it. The sunflower. So sunflower is very close to this, if not exactly this, because I just pulled a piece out of my paper tray. And then this is leaf green. This is a leaf green piece of cardstock because it just matched the green that's in, and there's so much green in my photos. I just wanted to introduce a little bit more green to this. So let's go ahead. We're going to cut. This is a 5x7 photo, so I'm going to cut a 5.5 out of this green. I'm going to go 5.5, and then I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to move my arm out because I'm going to need a 7.5. Alright, then I'm going to also need a 6 and a 8. And we may trim these down. Let's just see how that works. So this should mat nicely on top of there. Maybe it's a little bit wider than typical, but I think it'll be all right. Okay. Now, are we going to mat anything else on here? I probably will want to mat this one, just to kind of draw some attention to it. And maybe this one. We, of course, need to mat this also. So this is going to need there we go. The green is perfect. So we will, let me go ahead and just adhere this on here, and then I will cut the mat around it so that everything stays together and we have that done. Okay. So this is just a clipping from one of the pamphlets that had that map in it, and this has several things you want to make sure not to miss when you visit this area in the Polynesian Cultural Center. And so just going ahead and adding some emphasis to that by adding a mat to the photo. And this photo so you may recall, if you've been watching this series as I've gone along, when we first arrived at the Polynesian Cultural Center, we went for a canoe ride. And when we went on the canoe ride, we went down this canal right up here, and I have pictures of this gate from the other side. These gates were made, and I don't remember if I discussed this in the previous video, so I apologize if I'm duplicating information for you. But these gates that were made with very close together poles were designed so that fishermen would make these pools of water for fish, and they would make these gates, and the tiny little fish will come into these little pond areas and eat and be very happy, and then when they wanted to leave to go back out to the ocean or to go back out to the larger area, they couldn't because they'd grown so much because they'd eaten so well, and they were just stuck there, and then easy for the fishermen to come along and fish and grab them for dinner. So, kind of a unique and efficient, very effective way to farm your fish. All right. So we've got this piece and this piece. I still would like to mat this photo. Let's see if I have enough space. I do not, but we could cut another piece. Let me just cut a quick little bit here. And I'm just going to cut this at 4 3/8 because I don't want don't need a huge wide border like I've got on this one. That one may be a little bit wider than I really want. And we'll do 6 3/8. That's a ballpark, but I think that will be fine. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that will be awesome. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this mounted on here, and then I'm going to go ahead and mount these photos into place, and then I'll tell you what's going on in these other pictures. All right. Do this too. Okay, I am still mounting my photos, but just wanted to explain what I'm doing here. So I'm lining up my pages so that they are even, so that I can line up these photos, because this is a young man who took the time to explain to us how, one of many different ways that some fishermen who do not have a boat can stand on the shore and fish for their catch. And you'll notice I cut about a ½ inch off of this one. I had cut them all, or trimmed them all, to 4x4, and that works, except that I wanted to have a little bit of a border, and you can see if I leave any bit of a border on the outside at all, I have to have almost no border between them in the center, so that I have this space on the outside, which is fine. There we go. Okay, so he actually showed my husband how he gathers the net up a specific way, and he throws it out. It's a net that is weighted around the outside. You can kind of see that here. And so as he throws it out into the water, then of course it sinks into the water and is able to trap an amount of fish inside, and then he can gather that net back up by pulling it in, and it then has all those fish trapped inside. So just kind of a cool thing, and it was fun to watch my husband learn how to do that. So, okay, I do still need to get this page put down, so just about ½ inch of adhesive in 5 different spots down a 12-inch length. That's what I use. You've heard me say that before if you've watched my channel for any length of time, because our adhesive is really, really good, and you really don't have to just go straight down with all of it. It's wasteful and can get really expensive if you're using it like that. So there's no need. Alright, so I'm going to just get this adhered, and then let's see, I need to see about some embellishments. I could use the other side of the journal box that we used in the last layout as my journal box here, or I could just write what I have to say right there on my paper, my base paper. I'm just going to tuck that in there, and then I'm going to I can write and journal on there, and I can cover this up with an embellishment over here. So let's see about, I know I have some fish in here. I've got all of these cute enamel stickers of goldfish, which we could use. But I think I have some other fish too, so let's see. I have a couple of clownfish. I'm going to save some of those though. Let's see what I have in the stickers, because I think that may be a better source of fish for this. Let's see what I've got. Okay, so I've got these kind of koi looking fish that we use from the koi pond. we could use those. I've got the catch of the day ones, which would also probably be more appropriate for this particular page. So let's see. Catch of the day, fresh fish. And it would be awesome if we had some kind of a piece of just a piece of something. A piece of something. And of course I cleaned up so I don't have all of my strips. I do have this though from the other day that's still sitting here. We could use this and kind of make a pole out of it. Grab some scissors. And we'll just kind of trim it. Right, like so. And let's see. Stick that underneath there. There's a little bit of repositionable adhesive on it now that I have it stuck in there. Come here. Because then I can wipe off the rest. That's handy. Definitely handy. Okay, so I've got some like so. And we'll just kind of dangle these off of that stick. Like that. And I think to carry those colors onto the other side, we'll use this one. It says, live in the sunshine, swim in the sea, drink in the wild air. Let me grab my foam squares, which are up here. Tuck that in right here. Maybe add this little fishy. Also popped up on some foam squares. So I just put a foam square here. And I happen to have one that's cut in half, which I'll use on the tail. Kind of set him in there. And then we could just use kind of a gone fishing for across the top next to our friend that taught us about fishing. He was very friendly and good-natured, and it was very fun. He actually said that he grew up just a couple miles down the road from the Polynesian Cultural Center. So kind of fun that he now goes to school at BYU and works here in the Polynesian Cultural Center. So I think that is about done. What do you think? Ideas, questions, comments? Be sure to type me a comment and let me know what you think. And I sure hope this has been inspiring and helpful to you as you have watched and learned. And if you have questions about how this part was done, again, if my explanation was too fast or you weren't able to understand, just type me a comment and I'll be happy to type it out for you again so that you can understand and do the same thing in your albums. All right? Thanks so much for joining me. Until next time, I hope you have many more creative moments. Have a great day.